see.
That's what I call all hazir, huh?
No. Bada bing, bada boom. Good. Which way is this one? Okay.
It's backwards there.
Hilchot Tefilin, Likutei. Well, I believe that we are
Somewhere in the middle of the left column, bottom left.
Well, I think that we're actually more than that. We hold in Mazer Kedushat Bechol. So we this here before Chaf Aleph.
We didn't do Chaf. I thought we.
No, we didn't do Chaf Aleph. So what we said through the Tefilin, you get this ability to restart all over again, each and every time. And
about restart?
yes.
Anywhere you want.
Talking about you sit wherever you want. So this union of starting again is actually the most typical descriptor of Am Yisrael. This is what Am Yisrael is, and that what it always was. I remember I had once a visitor from Holland, and non-Jewish visitor. We went to Yerushalayim, and we went to through Shar Tzion, Kibbutz David HaMelech. We went over there, and the guy was absolutely flabbergasted. He says, "I can't believe this." I said, "What can't you believe?" He said, in Europe, the history goes back like 300 years, 400 years, 500 years. How long does it go already? The Tudors, said there. So yeah, but then suddenly you start getting to the medieval times, and when it's like, basically we're just like pork eaters from here to there, just like nothing. But then you had the Crusaders and the this and the that. Suddenly, the history starts, and everything which is like 300 years or 400 years old, it's cordoned off with felt ropes and stuff like this. It's here you see, this is the gate of Zion. It's biblical. It's in the Bible, and the car is coming through it. He says it's like the past and the future are all one. Over there, the past is like on a pedestal. It's like in a museum. It's like,
put away in a box.
Here, I mean...
It's because you're going to say because of time and place.
That's exactly right. It's exactly right. Because by us, we're so beyond time and place, the past and the future is all one. What they're talking about in America, when they're looking at history, they're talking like, 250 years? I mean, when they say, Columbus, and 400 years, right? You're talking about here, prophets were going around, thundering prophecies 2,000 years ago.
3,000 years ago.
It's like, it's not, the thing is, there's no time for Am Yisrael. There's no such thing as time. It doesn't apply to them. That's the reason why they say that's the eternal Jew. Because they start each and every time anew. Am Yisrael starts new every single time. And that's the reason why it is eternal. America is 250 years old. When Rome was 250 years old, it was in the middle, a little bit after the middle of the greatest empire ever. It was 400 years. Rome, it's just like conquered absolutely everything, ruled absolutely everything. Is the most successful empire ever. 400 years, and it's gone. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. The Persians, the this, the that. Goldish nicht. Nowhere. Am Yisrael downtrodden, persecuted.
Still around.
You know, basically, Am Yisrael maybe had like what, 300-year period that it was like, you know, the big kahuna around the area. David HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, whatever it is. You know, that's it. Before that, after that, you know, under siege, under constantly persecuted, and it exists until today. And the Goyim still have this dimyonot that this time we'll really do it. We'll do nuclear, we do this, we do that, we do gas chambers, we do this, we'll finish them off.
They're destroying themselves trying to...
Yeah. The union of Am Yisrael is the union of his kadshus, chodosh. That's the reason why when we count our days, we count them to the chodesh, the month. In other words, our days are about, you know, Rishon lachodesh, Bet lachodesh, Chaf lachodesh. You know, everything is lachodesh. Everything is counted to the chodesh, to becoming new again.
Moshe Rabeinu says in Zion, Perek Zion, study, help us to count our days, right? Is that a reference to that? In Kapitel Tzadi, in Tefilin? Help us to count our days, no?
I don't know. I'm not sure what you're referring to. My mind is not working that well. But so what we're saying is that and what is the union of Chodesh? What is the union of this newness of Chodesh?
To count our days, no?
I don't know. So we're saying that this renewal of the Chodesh, our moons, our months are lunar, right? What are we counting, or how do we start counting the Chodesh? When the moon renews itself, when it starts all over again.
Chodesh means hadash.
Chodesh means chadash. And when does it start? When the moon restarts, the moon regenerates. You suddenly you see a little bit of nekuda. It's a new start, a new birth. This is of Bechoira. This is of Kodesh Baruch Hu called Am Yisrael B'ni Bechori. You know, my son, my elder. That's the firstborn. That's the firstborn. The firstborn. That's the beginning of life. Am Yisrael starts life, restarts life all over again, any given moment. And this is the image of the Tefilin. You get that ability to overlook everything. That longevity, the ability to restart, means that you have to not get worn down, rattled by anything that goes over you. Whatever happens, happens. Gashmis, Ruchnis, any which way. And you start all over again. Why? Because you have a perspective that covers the entire life, which covers Olam Haba, what's going to be here, what's going to be in Olam Haba, the whole thing together. And, you know, the Yetzer Hara, which is basically, you know, a punishment, a result really of one's avarice, keeps on bringing obstacles along the way. The role of the obstacles, if you have seichel, if you get this lack of tefillin to renew yourself, you realize that by not looking, not letting the obstacles, you know, sway you away, you turn them into tools and into vehicles of acquiring new qualities, new abilities, new resiliency. It's like when you want. Let's say one day you get up in the morning, you said, "I'm going to build a new city." Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be me. Have you ever built a city? Nope.
Lego.
Have you ever? Yeah, Lego. Never built a city ever. I don't know what. The minute you start, you don't know where to go. So you start finding information. Then you go to the bank, and it says, who the heck are you? If you keep on going at it, every obstacle that you overcome becomes the step for the next step. You're stepping on it in order to reach the next stage. And if you are actually, resilient and strong enough not to take any barrier as a blockage, but rather as a stepping stone, the blockage itself gives you the tools that you need for the next. The bank doesn't know you can't. Well, that's a blockage. But if you learn how to get the money from the bank, now you know how to finance the project, right? And the same thing goes, with the building and this and that. Each time it'll be started as a problem, and the process of overcoming the problem, is your step for the next stage. The same thing is over here. It's the same principle. Everything, as they say, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Except for Keith Richards, right? That he said anything that doesn't kill you just makes you look as if you did.
In his case, it's definitely true.
Well, anyhow, I'm sorry about this aside.
So aren't we just fooling ourselves? Aren't we really just... And that's all good and that's all true to a degree, but you've got to recognize that we have limitations. And if we say, we have no limitations, then
I didn't say that.
Upset
You're asking very, very good. You're asking a very good question. And the thing is that, yes, you have to be sane in your expectations. And Rebbe Nosson actually gives a very clear definition as to what it is that you should aspire for vis-a-vis what you actually should attempt. And he says like this, Moshe Rabeinu already gave us this eitzah. And he says, Ki korov elecha dova ma'od beficha ubelvavcha la'asoisei. Moshe Rabeinu says, don't say it's in the Torah in the heavens, don't say it's on the other side of the sea, those in the heavens who's going to go up and bring it down, don't say it's down the sea, who's going to go over there and bring it up to us. What? Ki beficha ubelvavcha la'asoisei, that whatever it is that you need to do is really within the capacity of your mind and your heart to accomplish. Right? That's what Moshe Rabeinu says. Comes the question, why does Moshe Rabeinu give this really fancy waxing about, don't say it's in the heavens, who will go up and bring it down? Don't say it's over the sea. What do you need this? First of all, you can say, listen, it's not in the heavens, it's not over the sea. It's very accessible to you, with your mind, within your mind, the capacity within reach of your mind and your heart to accomplish it.
Mouth.
In your mouth and within the capacity of your heart. So what it is that it's in the heaven, who will go up and bring it down? It's on the sea, who will go over there and bring it over here? So Rebbe Nosson explains the truth is the Torah is in the Shema. And the Torah is me'ever le'yam. It really is. But you can take it as saying, this is an impossible challenge. How on earth as you said, am I not kidding myself? True Torah is in Shemayim. True Torah is beyond Yama Chochma. How can we ever, because he says the thing is that your aspirations should be in the Shemayim. Your aspirations should be the other side of the sea. Me'ever Yama Chochma. He says, but lemaisa, what should you tackle? Anything which corresponds to the tnaim, to the conditions of beficha or levavcha la'asoisei. Beficha means you ask for it, and your heart is something that you're going after. It's the next stage. That's it. The only thing that you need to do in Avodas Hashem is not to shoot for the stars. It's not to try to build a new city. The only thing you need to do is just overcome that which is in front of you. That's it. Don't worry what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do with you. where it's going to lead you.
The next accessible.
That's it. Just the next accessible. What if it's getting up to daven in the morning? This is what it is. No, should wake up chatzois. We should give vasikim. Get up in the morning to daven consistently. Go to the mikveh before davening.
So you're saying it's a Yetzirah really to look further than the next step because you're never going to take them.
That's exactly what Kadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabeinu. You're going to receive the Torah. Go warn the people not to rush. Right? Pen Yasu. You're going to rush. You're going to fall down. That's exactly the only thing you need to do. You need to overcome that which is straight in front of you. That's it.
Why did he tell them not to? He created the Yetzirah, so he gave them a Yetzirah to rush, and then he told them not to rush. Why did he just not make the Yetzirah?
Ultimately, overcoming the Yetzirah, as we said before, in this mashal of building the city.
No, in that circumstance.
By overcoming the Yetzirah, because that's another Yetzirah. The Yetzirah is to, as you said, know your limitations. Not to go too far, not to go too slow. Realize you need a teacher to pace you. You need the Torah to cool up your enthusiasm and your obsession. This is what it's about. So this constitutes the Kedushas Yisrael. This is the essence of Am Yisrael, becoming new all over again. It epitomizes itself, this principle, in David HaMelech. David HaMelech is the Shoresh Malchus Yisrael. That's the root of the kingdom.
Malchut also has to do with moon. So יש שם משהו במון שהוא מחדש את עצמו.
בוודאי. That's why we say, David Melech Yisrael, that's what he's going to say here in Seif 21. David Melech Yisrael lives forever. David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayim. At the same time, David Yisrael was supposed to be stillborn. Right? Doesn't have any life at all. We're talking about long life, eternal life is one that is totally ancient, is absolutely old, and completely new at all times. That's the essence of being beyond time. This is what we say in Seif Chafalev.
Regarding what Ezra said, like realistic expectations, right? I can't say, well, I'm going to try for the NBA. It's not realistic. Right? Something like that. You make yourself a goal, but it has to be something that's...
I'm sorry, but it's interesting that even when you're beyond time, we still speak about old and young. Whether you think Hashem is above time, it's not old, it's not young, it's irrelevant. It's like saying, Mazak Ashur, old and young, if you're the Malam in this.
Right, but that's the point he's making.
That's the reality.
You live here.
We're under the sun. We're under the sun.
To understand.
No, but I'm talking about on the shorish of it. No, it seems that even in the
shorish,
there's a mechanism of old
the shorish
that's what
of
the blind beggar.
The shorish of it, really, the shorish of it, isn't here and now.
That's right.
To be totally free from the past and the future. That means to be beyond time. Because from all the past, present, future, all the different tenses, all the different... The only one that does not include any time is the present. The past is no longer about, whoa, you have a history, 5,000 years, 15 billion years, whatever it is that you want to call it. The future, 6,000 years, whatever. And none of them are there. The only thing that is...
None of them exist, really.
The only thing that is the present, and there's no time in the present. It's totally beyond time. Which means to be a Jew means to live in the here and now completely, totally.
My mom used to tell me that.
That's it. What do you need to do now? What does the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants from you now? That's it. And when you do this, you, as we said it many times, you take the temporal, the zmani, and you infuse it with ruchnius. You infuse it with eternity. And you become eternal.
So that's the renewing. You live now, and you live now, and then you live now.
All the time now. I mean, if you live now, you start now. You start now.
So let's start now.
Let's start now. Okay. כי דוד לא היה לחלוס כלל, דוד המלך didn't listen Seif Chaf Aleph. What?
Start again.
David HaMelech lo היה חי, David didn't have any life at all. It wasn't supposed to any life at all. לא להיות נפל, because he was actually supposed to be a stillborn. הקודם הראשון נתן לו משנותיו 70 שנה, but קודם הראשון gave David HaMelech from his own years, 70 years. כמו שאמרו חז"ל. כי אחי של עבד הראשון, because the life of Adam Rishon is actually coming forth from the essence, from the bechina of Arich Anpin. That's the Kesser, that's the highest bechina there is. Shu b'chinas Arichas Apayim. That's patience. Patience and perseverance, the ability to overlook, not to get frustrated, not to get, my history, my ego, my obsessions, my complexes, whatever it is that there is, I think this is not. Maybe it's just me, not let whatever it is that is bringing you down, bring you down.
They're not even today.
To be totally free from. He said also that's the way that nevuah is, can be achieved. Prophecy, the state of the prophetic state, can be achieved only when one lets go of himself, of his ego, of his whatever that he brings to the table. We mentioned once before that what happens is that, we have a medame, we have this imaging center, so to speak, that is connected to our subconscious, and whatever it is that we bring from our childhood, from our past, whatever experiences, basic injuries, and whatever it is, and it keeps on sending these abstract messages that cannot be read, and those messages that feed connect to this imaging center, which interprets those messages into a symbol language. That's why when you go to sleep and you separate yourself from the distractions of the day, you're all alone, you're separate, just between you and yourself, then your inside, your ego, your whatever it is that you have, your subconscious connects to the imaging center, and lo and behold, you see a dream. Now, what you want to do, to become a prophet, in order to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with prophecy or with Ruach HaKodesh, or whatever it is that you want, what you want to do is you want to separate that imaging center from the ego, from the I, from the, from what you are. You become clean, should be objective, because the divine message is also, an abstract stream. That's the thing that is so tantalizing with art. Because what artists are, it doesn't matter what kind of artist, if he's a painter, if he's a musician, is whatever it is, what he actually is just an imaging center for this abstract stream. So it can get sublime. It's evocative. It suggests and alludes to qualities that are not graspable.
Because it comes from beyond time.
That's right.
Connect to the frequency.
Yeah, it's and so we made it the biggest problem with art, of course. The biggest problem with art is that it gives you new means to be spiritual and sublime that is totally divorced from the notion of morality. Art has nothing to do with morality, with good and bad. Nothing. I mean, Hermann Goering, the arch-Nazi, second to Hitler, was one of the biggest collectors of art ever.
He stole it.
Listen, he's a collector. I didn't say how he collected it. I didn't say he was a nice guy about it.
But we're saying the kids are all forms of...
The guys that used to execute the Eden in the concentration camps went afterwards and listened to Beethoven, and Mozart murmuring in a corner with the quartet.
Hitler was a painter.
Yeah, but not a very good
Not
one.
very good one.
You know, it's,
No, he could draw buildings really well. He just couldn't draw people.
that. Okay. You could just kill people, couldn't draw them.
But I loved your definition, your description of an artist. Can you just say that sentence again?
Well, there's a recording. There's a recording, there's a video, it's going to be on YouTube. Is that?
Anticipation of...
No, it's a translation. It's an imaging center that translates this abstract stream that is divorced from morality. That's the reason why they say Lenin said that religion is the opium of the masses, but he was, of course, kidding himself. Opium for the masses is sports. Opium for the intellectuals is art. Because it sort of like gets your mind away that life for them doesn't mean anything. The thing is that I don't want to get too much into the philosophy of being frei, but the thing is that all you need to do is, in order to give an illusion of morality, is to assign moral values arbitrarily to what is currently politically correct and keep on moving it around. That way, before you know what's going on, it's already something else. So, I mean, because really, as far as they're concerned, nothing really matters. There is no such thing as truth. The mistake, of course, is that I'm getting too philosophical about this. Let's just go on. The Rishon comes from Arich Hampim, that's the patience, that's the stoical acceptance of the static that life throws your way, and not letting it divert you from the main goal, which is service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the stories of ancient years. This is whatever happened to Odom Rishon before the Chet Etzadas. That it says in the writings of Arizal that the life of the first doros, of the first generations, stems from Arich Anpin. This answers your question. How come they live for so long? He said they're going to die. They live for such long life. So Arizal explains that the life of the first doros, the life of all the generations stem from the entire koim of Odom Rishon, the entire stature of Odom Rishon, included the head and the torso and the legs till the feet. And it says that the neshamas of all the generations spiritually come from different parts of Odom Rishon. In the very beginning they came from the hair, from the head, and the neshamas of the people that will be in the time of Mashiach comes from the heels. The emanate from the heels of Odom Rishon says Ikvas of the Mashiach, the heels of Mashiach. The lowest neshamas there are at the very, very end. In the very beginning, they still got their heels from Erech Apayim, from Arich Anpin, from the sphere of Kesed. That's why they all lived close to 1,000 years, each and every one of them. It's only when sorry?
I heard a Rav say that we considered the hard skin at the bottom of the feet.
Yeah, nice,
We have no
nice.
feeling, we have no...
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Enjoy
it.
your
Cheers, yes. Well, let me, I'll sip a cup of coffee for that. Yeah. Just to show where
it's coming from.
This. Yes.
We need a pedicure.
We need like a couple cameras set up.
That's right. As they say, TMI. Too much information. That's why this Doris is showing the first Doris lived for so long, because the neshamas came from the aspect of Arich Anpin, of stoic lengthening of the breath, so to speak. Okay, they lived a very long time. In all those stories that Torah tells us, these first generations, they all constitute tales of ancient years. That's the splendor of the face, the revelation of the face of Kodesh Baruch Hu, of all the 70 facets of the Torah.
Why is it telling us? What's the significance of tales from ancient years? It seems like it's just thrown in.
No. What we said, if you recall, a few days ago, I said that when a person falls off, by the way, that's mind you the origins, the kedusha of art.
The tales from
Yes, the art is the ability to create a symbol in this world that attracts a sublime stream. The art of the kedusha is the harbinger of the 70 facets of the Torah. That's why in Kodesh HaKodeshim there were paintings of Ma'aseh Bereshis around the walls, because the visual art of Kodesh HaKodeshim broke down the Shekhinah of Kodesh Baruch Hu, which is the most sublime of all sublime streams. The koach of art is bastard. The word art is used today is bastardized. Is a bastardization of the principle that in this world the gashmius, when done a certain way, in a very skillful kind of way, in an inspired kind of way, can evoke, which means draw down and reflect a very sublime message. The stories are always illusions. Not illusions, but illusions.
How is it that we could gain anything other than kedusha from beyond time and place?
Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world that no matter which system you use, it leads you somewhere. There's only one system that leads you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's the Torah. And the other system will teach you how to play the violin. Another system will teach you how to play soccer. Another system. Every system is a consecutive. Yes, after this you do this, and then you do this, and you do this, amidst a force of don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. If you say, listen, I can play the violin any which way I want. I can hold the violin with my leg and move the bow with my nose. Yes, you can, but you won't be able to play Paganini. Because you can't. It's only if you go according to discipline. You just hold it like this, and you hold the ball like this, and you hold this like that, and you practice this way, you'll be able to, to evoke the sublime of Beethoven or Mozart or Bach or whatever it is that you want to play, okay? In other words, every system is not this, not this, not this, only this, only this, only this, and not this, not this, not this, not this. And every system leads you elsewhere. Because Baruch has created the word infinite, so the infinite.
It's still cool.
So really, if we want to be attached to reality, we need to stay away from the opiates of the masses, and therefore we shouldn't listen to Bach, and we shouldn't.
That's the opium of the intellectuals.
Doesn't matter, but it's not Jewish intellect.
Rabeinu says in Torah Beis, he says the menagin kosher. Torah Gimel. Listen, let's just. We're like not moving at all. I'm just waxing poetic about all kinds of nonsense. I'm sorry. That's why they live long life. And all the 70 facets of the Torah receives from them. And that's why the Torah begins from all these holy tales. Before it starts even giving you the mitzvah of the Torah, it starts with stories. Because these stories are the harbingers of the 70 facets of the Torah. All the mitzvahs of the Torah, they are included, they are comprised from the 70 facets of the Torah. They all have to receive from the splendor of the face, in other words, from these galus, from the revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world. That's called Hadras Ponim. That's the beauty of Adam. Of this Gaz HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the stories, the tales of ancient years. And the main principle, the most important essence of the chayes the kedusha of this life force, the kedusha you see from there, to renew your chayes, your life force at any given moment, to restart anew each time, to live all over again, to start, be born like this. I give birth to you today. That was said about whom? About David Mashiach. I gave birth to you today. Today you were born. That instead of being stillborn, he became immortal. From one extreme to the other. Like from the beginning, didn't have any chayes at all. He was supposed to be stillborn mamish. He was zoicha to live 7 years, but not just any 7 years. 7 years from the life of Adam Arishon. That's the epitome of Erech HaPayim.
70 years.
70. What did I say?
I said 70 full years.
I said 74?
No, full.
70 full years? What's wrong with that?
I thought you said 74 maybe.
I think you said 70.
You said 70. I was the one that said 70 full years.
We'll check the Insta replay.
Whatever, okay, we'll have to check to see what I said. I wouldn't be surprised at all if I goofed. That's me all over again. This is, so we're talking about Shivim Shono Shishna Odem Arishon Shezocha Lichios Kol HaShivim Shono M'chinas Chiyus Chadash. He merited, he was Zocha, he attained life. He attained life which is totally new at each and every moment, as if he has never lived before. That's it. From now on, it's a new start. Today was born. Is right now he's like a stillborn that is just born. Shalashum Chayos is like doesn't have any life, nothing. It's like dead. He has to receive a total chesed, total gift from Kodesh Baruch Hu to start living one day. That's what they teach in all the 12-step programs, right? Just one day. One day, that's it. Rebbe says that the secret of Avodas Hashem, to succeed, to do everything, to have all the avodas and everything, wake up, chatzos, basik, whatever it is to accept upon yourself just for today. Because for one day a person can do anything. You can accept upon yourself to do anything. Just today, that's it. Tomorrow, forget about it. Today, that's it. Today I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do this. One day, that's it. The Rebbe says that was the way that he did his avodah. Each day, he says, he was makabel himself the avodah of today. He planned out what he's going to do today. And today, one day, you can jam-pack anything you want. It's the minute you start adding the past, the future, and then you start getting bogged down, and you
have an appointment tomorrow at 3, maybe. Rest a little.
All you need to do is today. That's it. Just for today. But to the point that he wasn't just born. What Rebbe Nosson saying here is an immense nekuda of emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I remember, that Rebbe Nosson tells, in the Maisa of the Istalkos of Rabeinu, and the night before, the Rebbe was sitting in the chair, and he was looking at Rebbe Nosson, and Rebbe Nosson was sitting there. Rebbe Nosson says, and he says, the Rebbe wanted to tell him what should happen afterwards, what to do. And Rebbe Nosson b'shum pani va'ofen didn't want to entertain the possibility, the option that the Rebbe is going to pass away. So he refused to ask. He didn't want to. There was a certain point, he says at a certain point in time was the day before that it entered his mind that maybe the Rebbe is going to pass away. He went to Rebbe Nosson, he says, listen, get me out of this. You know, take this note, because I started to have a suffix, maybe the Rebbe is actually, take it out of my head. Just like, you know, talk me out of it. He says, the Rebbe just looked at him. He says, and every look that the Rebbe looked at him, he gave him koyach. It's an unbelievable passage. Rebbe Nosson describes this scene of the last night of Rebbe's life. So I asked Reb Simcha Balev, the Rebbe wants to tell Rebbe Nosson how to behave after the stalkos. This is the future of Klal Yisrael, right? It's the tikkun of Am Yisrael. Yes, to go to Uman, not to go to Uman, what to do, what? Everything depends on that. So Rebbe Nosson didn't ask, so why didn't the Rebbe tell him himself? Let the Rebbe initiate the thing and tell him, listen, you don't believe I'm going to say, fine, but let me tell you, just in case of emergency, break glass, you know, okay, if I happen to be like, this is how you should behave. He just said that, didn't say anything. Why didn't he say?
Because he knew it would happen anyway.
Shulchan Aruch told me because he trusted the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He knew Rebbe Nosson had to ask.
Rabeinu trusted.
Yes. Rebbe Nosson had to ask. If he doesn't ask, Kadosh Baruch Hu do what he wants. The future of Klal Yisrael depends on that. He trusted Hashem. It was the first inkling that I got. What does it mean to believe in Hashem? He trusted Hashem.
I don't find all of that interesting, with no disrespect. I don't know, because I'm like thinking,
It's okay.
I'm thinking like practically, what are we supposed to do now? And like, okay, so in their level, they were thinking of it. Like, I don't mean to be rude. That's the way my mind works.
It's
But
fine. It's okay.
I'm thinking, I'm just dying to ask you, what are we meant to do if we're not in a place where we can begin? Like, we're in a place of stopping. Now what do I do?
We have
So you
said
mentioned
it.
art.
We have
Can I
been
use
talking
art
about.
to start me
No,
again.
no. We have spoken about this at length, and we probably still will. I mean, you sort of like came in the very middle, so you just got a little sliver of a glimpse. Just stay with us, and you get to see how you jumpstart the process, because this is what it's all about. You're absolutely right. It's very nice to talk about it, but hey, what do you do when it doesn't work, right? So this is what it's about. Just stick with us, and it'll become obvious. But right now we're talking about the principle of it, so we'll understand. And it says, he's not talking about like a newborn baby that was born now. A stillborn that was born now. Doesn't have life at all. Has to have a chesed to have just one day. Once a baby was born alive, okay,
There's a chance.
He's alive, that if he doesn't live 30 days, then he's a nefil. But it's a living thing. He's a stillborn. Doesn't have life at all. It's a chesed just for one day. ובכל כמו נפל הנער עכשיו שאין שום חיוס צריך לקבל חסד השם יסבר חיוס חדש וכן בכל עץ ורגע in every single given moment וכן חי כל 70 שני סוף. That's the way he lived his entire 70 years. שזה עיקר חיים. That's the essence of life. That's real living. עד שזוכה דעבודוסוי וגיוסוי until he was zoicha, until he attained through his hard work, through his toil. He was working and toiling all his entire days, of not to sleep his days. Not to sleep his days, taking a nap, escaping from reality.
Didn't he live like as if that was his last day? Because he knew he was going to die.
Yes, that's why he didn't sleep for 16 years. Why? He didn't want to taste death. By him, it was only one day. All he had is just one day. To add kedusha, to add das, to add awareness, to renew his life force at any given moment. He was through this to live long life forever. Lo'olam v'od. With this, he was zeicha to exist forever. But in fact, he didn't have even one day. We continue with Hashem on Sunday.